size premium pillow for $29.98. That's a $40 savings. King size only $5 more. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio listener square, use my promo code USA or call 1-800-951-8175.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Some Americans' stimulus payments are now hitting their bank accounts, and it's just 2 days after the bill was authorized and was signed into law. Multiple people have announced on social media that they've seen the $1,400 stimulus payments being deposited into their bank accounts. The payments were included in the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan, which President Biden signed into law on Thursday. More payments will be sent in the coming weeks by direct deposit and through the mail as checks or debit cards, but the vast majority of payments will be mailed by direct deposit, according to the IRS. Americans can use the Get My Payment tool on the IRS website to check the status of their payments.
Joey.
More than 2,000 flights were canceled over the weekend at Denver International Airport as a major snowstorm has struck the region. A winter storm warning is in effect. People are being asked to not travel if it's not necessary. You're listening to USA Radio News.
You've heard me talking about My Pillow for 3 years, folks. It's the truth. I get the best sleep of my life with a My Pillow. You can do it too. 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty, made in the USA. You'll sleep well or you'll get your money back. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio listener special, use my promo code USA, get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for the price of one, or call 1-800-951-8175.
All right.
Get the best sleep of your
I'm
life.
here.
Do it now.
Good morning,
An
everyone.
anti-abortion bill has moved forward in Florida. USA's Mark Fortier has more.
A Florida House subcommittee this week approves a bill making it illegal for a doctor to perform an abortion if the only reason is because the child would be disabled, physically or mentally. Exceptions would be allowed if the mother's health is in danger. Vero Beach Republican Erin Grahl sponsoring the bill. She says destroying those that are or may be disabled is detrimental and contrary to our culture and our values. A Democratic lawmaker calls the bill an attempt to infringe on a woman's right to choose. If the bill becomes law, it would take effect July 1st. From the USA Radio News Florida Bureau, I'm Mike Fortier.
Most of us eat poorly, don't get enough exercise, and spend too much time in a sedentary lifestyle. All of that coupled with concerns over COVID-19, we're looking at a train wreck in the future. USA Radio Network's John Clemens has more.
To have obesity is to weigh on average about 50 pounds over the median average weight. Michael Burgeon is the CEO of the American Obesity Association, formerly the Massachusetts Science Center.
There was a Harvard University study 2 years ago that predicted a 50% obesity rate in 2030. Because of the pandemic and all these other factors, this kind of train wreck for Americans based on the pandemic is more likely to be in 2025.
The American Obesity Association has introduced a series of national programs to reduce obesity.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
All right, red mic.
Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Perfect.
I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Cold. That's what's happening this morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Middleboro in Review on a cold mid-March Sunday morning. Good morning, Dawn.
Good morning. How you doing, Joe? How you doing at 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Are you doing well?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
You like the idea? You
I was
had to get
just,
up an hour early?
I was shocked. I was shocked there for a second. You're using that British accent.
I could never do that.
No.
Like, I don't have the talent for that. Actually, I had a group of friends who had the best. They could do the accents and everything. I could just sit there with this dumb look in my face all the time. That's all right.
All right. Well, we have an interesting and fun show today. We have an election coming up in a few weeks here.
In Middleboro?
In Middleboro, yep.
Okay.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. What positions are up?
So when are you going to run? When are you
fun
going to run
things.
for Board of Selectmen, Joey? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
You going to announce your candidacy?
Probably never.
I don't know. I don't know if you legally can on the radio. But
No, I wouldn't do that on the radio. I would probably never run. I don't.
Well, you know what? There's some young people in Board of Selectmen, isn't?
In other Board of Selectmen,
No,
yes.
who's the youngest one in Middleboro? Who would you say?
Diane Stewart.
Diane
I believe.
Stewart. Wasn't she like in her 20s when she started?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, she was young actually, and I think she.
And on some other boards, there are some younger people as well.
Right, and just watching all those, spending time with you at MACAM, watching, never sat through a Board of Selectmen meeting until you started getting into the filming thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I sat through it, but Diane Stewart was big on you tell me, what was she big on?
Disabilities.
Disabilities. Yeah. She made sure that ramps were put in, all these different, she made sure, and which is good. And she was like the advocate for disability, disabled people in the Middleborough.
Yes.
Because of her brother, you know what I'm saying? So she had a cause, which felt good in my heart that she was out there for something, you know what I mean? And the common good for the town. But I was always impressed with her, Diane Stewart, Board of Selectmen. I was just watching them.
Well, what
And
else?
She's still on the board, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
What else do we have on the docket today? Middleboro football has returned. Football. The Middleboro football team has returned. The Sachems.
You mean the high school football?
Yeah, the Sachems have returned.
Spring football.
Spring football.
We haven't heard that in forever. Football in the spring. Used to be spring scrimmage years ago, and I think they did away with it. But now football is back.
There's still football on during the spring on national TV.
Yeah, but not
every once in a while.
But not high school.
Not high school, no.
So this is the first.
Yep.
Are they starting this season?
Yeah, they're starting their season.
So this is when they were supposed to start back in September.
September. Yes. September. And, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And we got some other interesting things. Blood drives coming up. Continuing to talk about the dog licenses, which at the end of the month become due. Become late if you haven't done it by the 31st or, the last day of the month. So, we'll talk a little bit about that, remind everyone about that. And we have some other things as well. Maybe we'll have some transportation type news as well on the show, depending on how much time we got. Alright, so Middleboro currently, weather-wise, 35 degrees, but it does feel like it's below 32. It honestly, because of the wind, feels a little bit lower than 35. 48 for the high today, 31 for the high tomorrow. Both days will have lows in the upper 10s. So 15 tonight and 16 tomorrow. It starts to warm up on Wednesday. We may be getting some snow on Friday. There is some snow in the forecast. And so we're going to have some interesting weather over the next couple of days. 34 degrees in Taunton. And 47 for the high today, 31 tomorrow. And pretty much same type of weather. Driscoll, Texas, 72 for the high. 73 for the high. 72 currently. And rain in the forecast with maybe some thunderstorms as well. Or some lightning. So if you live in Driscoll, Texas, and are listening to the show, be careful. When you go out today, there might be some heavy rain in Driscoll, Texas today. 80 degrees tomorrow for the high in Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, currently 29 degrees. 49 for the high, 39 for the high tomorrow in Driscoll, North Dakota. All right. So, Don.
Yes?
How was your week?
It was all right. It was a nice week. Weather-wise, I think it was beautiful. I think, what was the pick of the day? Thursday? Was it? Yeah, Thursday was the pick of the day. Yesterday was a little chilly in the morning. Yeah, all right. Still March, so, you don't want to get too complacent with the nice weather because we woke up and what's going on? Yeah. So make sure you keep your little jackets laying around. No short sleeve shirt weather yet, Joey.
So a quick little thing. You're listening to Middleboro in Review. You listen to us every Sunday. And we're here on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We also are on TuneIn, WVBF. You can listen to us there as well. WVBF 1530. Also on the Facebook. People who may be watching on the Facebook, I am wearing my Ship of Fools Grateful Dead shirt today. So, very interesting. Cool band, Grateful Dead. I don't know a lot of their material, but...
I think I know 3 songs.
I know Ship of Fools.
I don't even know that.
It's one of my favorite songs from them.
So
far, that I've heard.
There was 2 bands that started out, Grateful Dead started early in the late 60s. And they were from the San Francisco area, pretty much the San Francisco scene. And so it wasn't Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah.
Also. And Yomer and Jerry sort of sounded like, in a way, as they pick. But as Jefferson Airplane disbanded, Yomer and Jack Cassidy formed Hot Tuna. And I say that Hot Tuna is a heavier Grateful Dead.
Yeah, we have seen Hot Tuna live at a really, really good venue.
You remember where it was?
New York.
Staten Island?
New York, Staten Island, you know? It's a really good venue.
St. George's Theater in Staten Island.
Yes, if they come around here in Massachusetts, I definitely would suggest everyone go see Hot Tuna because they are a very good band. They do acoustic stuff. They do acoustic sets. They have some dates where they do just acoustic stuff, and they have some dates where they just do electric stuff. So they kind of switch between, electric and acoustic, depending on the date, depending on where they are as well. They play a lot of shows. There's a place where they play a lot of shows. I don't know exactly where. I think it's in Ohio.
Well, that's Yoma's place. It's called Fur Pete's Peace Ranch.
Okay, so they play a lot of shows there.
Yeah, he usually has his concerts there. It's his little private retreat. And just like how Al Guthrie has the church, that's his home, and he plays there sometimes. Mm-hmm. The church from the song
Alice's Restaurant.
He bought the church and turned it into a community center in 1991, I believe. And we went by there. And they have archives of pretty much of that era, where it's related around that particular song. I actually had a picture of Officer Obie. So, and they have I think, looks like they seat 75 people maybe, and a full equipped kitchen, food, gifts. That's what we saw. It was nice. And
finally, here on the Facebook, you're obviously listening to us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group Middleboro Review, and the YouTube channel, Middleboro Review. Also, we have an audio now number, 605-562-7958. Those are all the ways you listen to us. You're on WVBF 1530, Middleboro Review. Real quick, before I take a break, I want to remind our listeners to check your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms when changing your clocks today. If you haven't checked your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms already, just check them. It's right around that. It's around that time again. We have a change of the clocks. So usually when the change of the clocks happen, that's when you check your carbon.
Ideal is just to change the batteries.
Yes.
Period.
Change the batteries.
Change the battery. Then you have a nice fresh battery, and they're good for 6 months. So I mean, check them is one thing. They work. Best thing to do is to swap the batteries out.
Yeah.
Put brand new ones in. It's every 6 months. It's not much money.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Chief Lance Benjamino in the Middleboro Fire Department wish to remind residents to test their smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms to check the batteries in each when they move their clocks ahead. And the clocks have been moved ahead today.
2 a.m.
Yep.
So it went from 12:59 a.m. No, I'm sorry, 1:59 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Yep. And it has a little bit more going in here. It's according to the National Fire Protection Association, in more than 50% of home fires that were reported to fire departments in the U.S. between 2014 and 2018, residents were alerted to the danger by a working smoke alarm. Almost 60% of home fire deaths occurred in homes without properly functioning smoke alarms, or no smoke alarms at all during the same time period. Fire departments nationwide responded to almost 80,000 carbon monoxide incidents in 2016, and almost 400 people died of unintentional carbon monoxide poisoning in 2017. To keep residents' homes safe and prevent fires and carbon monoxide poisoning, Chief Benjamino recommends these safety tips. I'm just going to read a couple of them. Test all smoke alarms at least once a month, pressing the test button to ensure the alarm functions properly. Smoke alarms with non-replaceable 10-year batteries are designed to remain effective for up to 10 years. If the alarm chirps, warning that the battery is low, replace the entire smoke alarm right away. Smoke alarms have a shelf life of 10 years. Be sure to replace them after 10 years of use. And if a smoke alarm sounds, immediately exit the house or building. Then call for help and await instructions from emergency personnel. For more information on smoke and carbon monoxide alarm safety, visit the NFPA website or contact the Middleboro Fire Department, 508-946-2461. Okay, so that's an important reminder for everyone as we are turning the clocks ahead for daylight savings time. Please check your smoke alarms and your carbon monoxide alarms. All right, 7:22. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back here on Middleboro Review on WVBF 1530 and 99.7 FM. All right.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You should reach them at 508-583-4999
$14.95. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Hi, this is Jim Larkin. Hope you can join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WBBF, The Sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary, and sometimes some live singers in the studio. And to make you laugh, some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WBBF, 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rogers. Our main source of aid to families in these communities is the food pantry. Open twice weekly on Wednesday and Saturday, clients can visit the pantry once a month and shop for their groceries. The pantry is open to everyone during the pandemic. Anyone affected by the COVID-19 crisis is welcome to register as a client with no income thresholds. To register by phone, just call 508-947-1717 and leave a message by selecting option 1. Your call will be returned by a volunteer who will add you to our list of clients. For the homebound or others who are self-quarantined, we will shop for you, deliver the groceries directly to your door. During the pandemic, we've taken all necessary precautions for the safety of clients and volunteers, and have managed to remain open throughout the crisis.
Hi, this is Ray Brown, inviting you to tune in to Talkin' Birds, a show about wild birds, birding, and conservation, right here on WVBF, broadcasting from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church Green. Join us for informative interviews and fun information about birds and birding. It's Talkin' Birds, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9, here on WVBF, AM 1530 and 99.7 FM.
All right, welcome back to Middleboro in Review, 7/26/45 this morning. Real quick before we continue, I just want to give a quick little program schedule. After us, tune into Bread of Life. Today's program, The Love Test. So that is 8 o'clock this morning after the news. At 8:30, The Rosary. 9 o'clock is the Talking Birds program with Ray Brown. At 9:30 is Keys of the Kingdom. At 10 o'clock is All on God with Edna Isaac. At 11 o'clock is Musical Odyssey, and today's program, Bruno Walter, Conductor of Humanity Part 2. And at noon, Sounds of the Emerald Isle. And at 2 o'clock, Stand Up Strong with Ed Miller and Tony Branch. And at 12 o'clock is the Sounds of the Emerald Isle with Jim Larkin. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some events coming up in Middleboro. There is a Gravestones, Gargoyles, and More event that's going to be hosted via Zoom. It's going to be hosted via Zoom, and it's sponsored by the Middleboro Public Library. Thanks to a grant from the Middleboro Cultural Council, the Middleboro Public Library is sponsoring a 2-part series on Zoom called Gravestones, Gargoyles, and More. Oh my. The 2 complementary programs focus on centuries-old visual arts, carved and or sculpted in stone. You must register to receive the Zoom link, which will be emailed the day before each program. Please call the library at 508-946-2470. Those events will be on Wednesday, March 24th, from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Brenda Sullivan of the Gravestone Girls will present Welcome to the Graveyard. And then the other one is March 27th from 1 to 2 p.m. Author Matthew Duman will present 10 amazing cultural architectural sculpture from 10 American colleges and universities. So this is going to be a very interesting 2-part event that I suggest everyone, if you have the time to do so, go check those out. The Zoom link, and you'll find, you'll call the library and you'll receive the Zoom link via your email, and those events will be towards the end of the month, on 24th and 27th. Another interesting thing that has happened during the week is items have been donated to the Wayne M. Caron Memorial at the new Middleboro High School. Recently, Middleboro High School principal Paul Brannigan accepted several items for display related to Medal of Honor recipient Navy Corpsman Wayne M. Caron. The new donations will be included in the new high school's display cases at the entrance to the Wayne M. Caron Auditorium. Former selectman John Ney, a classmate and close friend of Wayne Caron, donated a photo of the USS Caron DD-70 and much more other things as well. So this is cool. A lot of items being donated. And what are your thoughts on this? I think it's a very good thing. Wayne M. Caron, a hero here in the community, and there's some more items that are being donated to the school.
Well, I think that's a fitting gesture for the opening of the new school. Brand new school opening up sometime this year. It was built pretty quickly, I thought. I mean, it went up pretty fast.
Yep.
I think. Even during the pandemic, it went up. I don't think they missed a beat. I just find out the school's so beautiful and it's such a celebration that it's fitting. And what was donated? Anything? Does it say?
We'll see here. Some things donated. Give you a little thing here. Donated a photo of the USS Caron DD-70 signed by over 20 officers. The DD-970 signed by over 20 officers of the ship. There's a whole bunch of different, some other things as well in there.
Is that the same picture that was always in the high school? You know what I'm talking about? There was a picture of a ship over near the auditorium.
Yes.
The entrance of the auditorium.
Maybe.
Okay.
I am not 100% sure. I'd have to look at it.
I remember seeing that one.
I'd have to see it again.
Right.
But there's some other ones. There's a portrait of him as well that's already there at the high school from before. There's all sorts of other different things as well. Items for the Wayne M. Caron Memorial and the auditorium as well. So
It'll be nice to see the new auditorium.
that'd be great to see the new auditorium. I've seen some pictures of the new school. It looks beautiful.
Even the auditorium in the old school was big. That was a big auditorium. Was that bigger than the one over at Nichols?
It's close.
Okay.
It's close.
Well,
I think they're both pretty much the same.
Right.
Honestly, I'm not. I don't know.
And that's older school.
I think so.
That was built in 71.
Yeah.
I believe. Right. Okay.
Yeah. And well, the Nichols Middle School is newer.
Right. But the old high school.
The old high school, yeah.
70s.
Yeah. So, yeah. And they're pretty much the auditoriums are pretty much the same. I don't know if there's any size difference between the two. Really, they're just pretty much the same. All right, we do have a little bit of Amtrak stuff. The coronavirus relief bill is included some money to restore the Amtrak Empire Builder daily service. The $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill approved by the U.S. Senate over the weekend includes funding for Amtrak's Empire Builder route, which runs through St. Paul on Chicago West Coast route. Democratic U.S. Senator John Tester proposed the legislation to provide up to $166 million to reinstate furloughed Amtrak employees and restore daily service to the carrier's routes. The Daily Interlake reported the bill now moves to the House, where it is expected to be approved. This was before it got approved. It's been approved. I believe it's been signed by Joe Biden as well. So this is now been signed. The Empire Builder and other long-distance routes were cut because of a massive decline in passengers as a result of the pandemic. The company furloughed about 1,250 employees nationwide. The Empire route was reduced to operating 3 days a week between Chicago, Seattle, and Portland, Oregon. It serves a dozen communities in Minnesota and Wisconsin. About 91,000 passengers boarded or disembarked in St. Paul in 2019. So that's some good news. This new COVID relief bill is going towards transportation to try to restore some of jobs and restore some of the routes.
I'm not surprised, Amtrak Joe, right?
Yep.
These big rail guys. We'll see a lot with him. We'll see a lot as far as rail in the United States. It's just hope we get people back on the trains. That's the thing. This pandemic's scaring a lot of people not to get back into. And a lot of people, if they have to wear a mask all day at work, they're not going to be too keen on wearing a mask on the subway or the train. So most likely they're going to want to drive. So as far as hopefully soon, they will lift the mask mandates and people will be more comfortable back in the situation. But there's going to be people who will always going to wear masks. They're just petrified of this.
There's a lot of new projects that are being proposed and a lot of different things with Amtrak and rail and transportation being proposed, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward with these projects. All right, real quick before we take a commercial break, dog licensing. Attention dog owners. Dog licensing period began the first of the year and will continue up until the end of March 31st. Items to bring with you: a copy of a valid rabies certificate and a certificate of spraying and neutering. A fee of $15 per dog if your dog has not been sprayed. A fee of $10 per dog for a sprayed or neutered dog. So it's $15 if your dog has not been sprayed, and $10 if your dog has been sprayed. A reminder to license your dog has been included as an insert. Dog licensing worksheet with the mailing of the 2021 annual town census form. Residents may complete the form and submit payment through the mail or by stopping by the town clerk's office, 20 Center Street, first floor, Town Hall Annex, Bank Building. Stop by Monday through Friday, 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. As a reminder, all dogs must be licensed by March 31st. Dog licensed April 1st or the 30th, or through the 30th, will be assessed a late fee of $10. Dog licenses not renewed by the 1st of May are subject to a $50 fine. So it's important if you haven't done so to license your dog. When we return, we're going to talk about Middleboro football, Middleboro elections, and a little bit of other sports things coming up too. Maybe a little bit about the Patriots as well. And then we'll have the Today in History and a few other things as well. So we'll be right back here on Middleboro Review. It's the 14th of March. We'll be right back on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. Perfect. Alright, let's see. 14th, here we go. Blood drives. We're gonna do blood drives too. Said I was gonna do blood drives. So let me do that after.
Let me get my thing in, okay?
I hope we do.
Mickey wanted me to get the thing.
Alright, we'll do that right after. But don't take too long because I still have a whole bunch of different things to do. Okay, so
I'm at the point where you can retire me.
No.
I don't say much anymore.
No, I still love you.
I just sit here now. All I do is just sit here now.
I still love you.
You'll keep me around, right? It's a meaningful task to do, right? Go take the trash out.
Yeah.
With our healthcare system pushed to its limits in fighting COVID-19, it's critical to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots help reduce the risk of illness, hospitalization, and death, while saving healthcare resources to fight COVID.
Vaccines have been shown to be safe and effective in eradicating once common diseases. Be sure to listen to trusted sources of vaccine information and ask your doctor if you have any questions.
By protecting yourself, you're helping to protect your
community.
We'll be protected together.
Get the facts at protectedtogether.org, sponsored by the Massachusetts Health Council.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a non-profit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester.
We're gonna have 17 minutes. Try to keep your thing to like 3 so I can get everything in.
At this time, we serve approximately 500 families.
So I'm gonna try to go fast and furious.
Many of them come to us for various
This last segment with topics.
So I can take a nap.
What?
So I can take it out.
I'm gonna try to go fast and furious with topics.
No, don't go too crazy.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
More sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
And temporary lodging. For more information, go to svvb.middleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. Today is the 14th of March, and we're going to flip it over to Don real quick. He has a few things to talk about.
Has anybody drove down 24? I'm sure anybody that lives in this area has. And there's an overpass right before you get to 128 on both sides. It's Canton Street. I feel like the whole car is going to fall apart when I drive over it. That is the worst overpass anywhere. The rest of the highway is fine, pretty much all the way to Fall River, in my opinion, as far as all the overpasses. What's with that one? It's Canton Street. Everyone knows where it is, because every time you hit it, it feels like your head's going to go through the ceiling. I don't know what the state's doing. It feels like the car is going to fall apart. It's worse than a truck. I drove out in the oil truck, and it's just, my bones shatter. And there's another bridge on Route 3 that's just as bad. It's Pleasant Street, over near mile marker 37. I don't know what the state's doing. The rest of the bridges are fine. Why haven't they fixed those bridges? It's insane. It's going to be an accident out there. It is so bad. People hit that at high rates of speed, and the whole front end, you just lose the whole front end. Anybody who's driven Route 3 and one of those out, and Route 24 has gone over those overpasses knows what I'm talking about. So I'm hoping someone from the state's listening, and maybe they could do something with those bridges. Maybe they're going to be doing something permanently with the bridges soon. But those are the worst bridges in this area by far. I digress.
Okay, I am back. All right, we're going to go a little fast and furious. We have a couple of different things going on here. Middleboro football loses their season opener. They lose to Bridgewater Raynham. The final score, 26-6. The Bridgewater Raynham team used their running attack. They ran the ball all over the field. And that's not good. So we lose 26-6. We lose our season opener. So I think going in the future, we'll have to find ways to stop the running game. And I think we will. This just a slight backtrack in the season. The season opener. After not playing for quite a while, that happens. Season opener, stuff like that. Games like that do happen. All right, free agency for the NFL is coming up. I believe it's on the 17th, which is Wednesday. The Patriots have already made some moves. Cam Newton is back for the 2021 season. There's also some other players as well. There are opt-outs that are opting back in for the next season. And another player coming back who was a big factor in the 2018 season. And we re-signed a couple of different players as well. So we've already made a couple of different moves here when it comes to prior to free agency. So we have a couple more days before free agency starts. So we'll have to see what happens there. And gonna get a little update on the 3 players on the Bruins from Massachusetts. We're going to get an update here right now. Chris Wagner out of Walpole, Massachusetts. He's played in 23 games, 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. Matt Grislick out of Charlestown has played in 12 games, no goals, 6 assists, 6 points. He might be injured. I'm not 100% sure. Hasn't played in many games, 12 games. 24 games for Charlie Coyle from East Weymouth. 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points. So that's your weekly update for the 3 players out of Massachusetts who play for the Bruins. All right, so 1 second here. Oh, we do have a sad update here. We do have a sad news story to report. Former middleweight champ Marvelous Marvin Hagler has passed away at the age of 66 yesterday. And very, very sad loss for the community of Brockton. He's been to Brockton a few different times. There is a clock at Massasoit Community College, which is has a plaque at the bottom of it with his name on it. Sad loss for the local community of Brockton.
That's why they called Brockton the City of Champions, because of Hagler and Marciano. Both boxing legends of their time.
Yep. So watch some classic Marvin Hagler fights over the coming days to celebrate the life of marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was a great boxer. Lost him way too soon, 66 years old. All right, elections. Said I would talk about this today. So we have elections coming up. The day of the election is Saturday, the 3rd of April. And polling locations, there's a couple polling locations. Precinct 1 is the Oak Point Clubhouse, 202 Oak Point Drive. Precincts 2, 4, and 6, the Middleboro High School Gymnasium, 71 East Grove Street. Precinct 3, South Middleboro Fire Station, 566 Wareham Street. And Precinct 5 is the Council on Aging, 558 Plymouth Street. Polling hours. Annual town elections usually go from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So those are the usual hours. Don't know if that's going to be the same for... I don't know if it was the same for the last election because of COVID-19, but I'm not 100% sure. But usually town elections 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
I'm sure you can find that out, right?
I will find that out.
Your crack research team, right?
I'll find that out. But annual town elections 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. usually. Polling hours, all other shows other polling hours for other different types of elections. But we are focusing on annual town elections, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Positions available. Board of Selectmen, there is 1 Board of Selectmen seat for 3 years. There are 2 Gas and Electric Commissioners seats for 3 years. 2 School Committee members for 3 years. Board of Assessors, 1 Assessor for 3 years. Town Moderator, 1 Town Moderator for 3 years. There are 2 Finance Committees members for 3 and 1 seat for 2. Planning Board, 1 seat for 5. The Park Commissioner, 2 Park Commissioners for 3 years. And Housing Authority, 1 Housing Authority member for 5 years. So those are the dates and the positions available for the election coming up in just a few weeks' time. Again, we'll mention this again just before the election. We'll mention this again. And
Yeah, I mean, dial in the times.
We'll dial in the times again.
You're probably right, but we got to make sure.
We just want to make sure because of COVID-19. The times were, I think, a little bit different during COVID-19 with elections and stuff. So we want to make sure.
It's like any place. It's funny because some, like my bank, for some reason, there's no rhyme or reason why some stores have COVID-19 hours and some don't. I figured all of them would be pretty much the same, but.
And yeah, so we're not sure. We're not sure about the elections if they had different times during COVID. Right. So and we're still in COVID now. So
hopefully in the tail end of COVID.
Hopefully in the tail end of it. So, all right, blood drives. We have one March 19th at Christ Community Church, 41 Stevens Street, East Taunton, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's March 19th. The number there is 508-880-6202. Call them to make an appointment.
That's a Friday, right?
That is, yeah, it's a Friday.
Because
March 19th, Friday.
Because St. Patrick's Day is on a Wednesday.
Yes.
This week.
Yeah. So again, 508-880-6202 is the number to call to get a hold of the Christ Community Church and to make an appointment for the blood drive. All right. 7:54:44. Let's talk a little bit about today in history. 1903, Pelican Island National Wildlife Refuge. The first national wildlife refuge in the U.S. is established by President Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt is big on the wildlife and did a lot for national parks.
He preserved more land in any president in U.S. history.
Yes, he did.
The whole Adirondacks is because of him.
So, if maybe this summer, hopefully COVID is relaxed a little bit, or more that it's completely relaxed, or, we're back to somewhat of normal, go down to Pelican Island, National Wildlife Refuge.
Where's that located?
It is located at Vero Beach, Florida. So, if you have a chance this summer, or maybe this spring, go check out Vero Beach, Florida, and go check out the Pelican Island National Wildlife Refuge. All right. What else do we have? Oh, we have birthdays. We have a lot of birthdays. Albert Einstein was born on this day in 1879. He is a German-American physicist, engineer, and academic. He also has received the Nobel Peace Prize. 1899, K.C. Irving, Canadian businessman, founded Irving Oil. Very important company. One of the more important oil companies.
They're big in northern Maine and Canada. Well, they can't. Canadian, pretty much. But they have a lot of them up in northern Maine.
Get ready for this one, Don. 1933, Quincy Jones, American singer, songwriter, trumpet player, and producer. You've heard some of his work. If you've ever watched Sanford & Sons, he did the theme for that.
The name of that song is called "The Street Meter," actually. So it was a song that was put together. He had that song going. I don't think he made that for the show itself. I think that was just something maybe that the producers of Sanford & Son picked up. But it's a whole song. It's a long song, and you go on YouTube, and for some reason, a lot of jazz bass players just cover that song. If you go on YouTube and you type in "Street Beater" by the Street Beater by Quincy Jones, there's a whole slurry of just basic amateur bass players doing the bass riff for that.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I have a friend of mine. His name's Gary. He's in a bass player. He played in a couple bands. And my friend, and he loved it. I sent it out, and he loved it because it's just the bass in that is just so intense. And yeah, Quincy Jones, he's still kicking.
88 years old today.
He produced a lot of good music. He was just good, and he's probably still at it too. I bet he hasn't retired. I bet he's doing things. People don't stop.
And another birthday. 1965, Billy Sherwood, American guitarist, songwriter, and producer. We've talked about the band, yes. I think it was last week or the year before.
Wasn't it the...
not last week or the week before, I'm sorry, not the year before.
It was his death, right? He died 2 weeks ago. And this is his
no, that was another member of Yes.
Oh, okay.
Billy Sherwood was in Yes, or has been in Yes, recently. It's more of a recent member of Yes.
Okay.
He was the band's guitarist and keyboardist from 97 to 2000, and the bassist since 2015, following the death of the original bassist, Chris Squire. He's best known for working with former and current Yes members on other projects. He's been in other bands. He's been in Asia. He's worked with Jeff Downs. And some other interesting members as well, Toto, he's worked with Toto. Air Supply, which is another big band. World Trade, Carmine Appice, Edgar Winter. He's worked with William Shatner. Not on music, but he has worked with William Shatner. He has appeared alongside William Shatner. He's worked with Paul Rogers and many more. Steve Morse as well. So, a lot of things that he has done. He's 55 today. Or no, well, not 55 today. This hasn't updated. He's actually 56 today. So, happy birthday, Billy Sherwood. Peter Graves. This is now deaths. Peter Graves. We lost Peter Graves 11 years ago today. Peter Graves, real quick, before we leave here. Peter Graves is the elder brother of James Arness. James Arness, of course, is in a lot of different things, James Arness. But Peter Graves was in the comedy film Airplane. And also the sequel as well, 1980. The first one came out in 1982. The second one came out. So, a lot of good films he's been in.
I believe he was the pilot.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of good films. Yeah. And finally, Stephen Hawking. We lost him 3 years ago today. English author and really a great mind. He had a great mind. He talked a lot about space and all the other different things in the universe. And
even with his
he was really interesting.
Even with his disability.
Even with his disability, yes.
You know, disabilities should not shut you down at all.
No. Nope.
At all.
All right. Well, that'll do it for today's program.
Have a great week, everybody.
And have a great week, everyone. We'll talk to you next week.
Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 14 Church Green, we are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week. Talk to you next week, March 21st.